FBO. This is FUBU. This is my long-term portfolio. I've been buying and holding this for a while, so I will continue to. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Well, this is your boy Francis. Welcome to the Trading Success Show. Well, what I have going on today is going to be the weekend popular chart demand. With that being said, guys, I have some few stocks here that really look interesting in my opinion. So come next week, which is, you know, a very solid week for earnings report, we have a whole lot of companies reporting earnings. So keep an eye on all these stocks that I'm going to lay out here today. Okay, this is not a recommendation, it's just, you know, for entertainment purposes only. With that being said, make sure you understand, you know, risk management, technical point for entry and exit. Okay, it is very important. Now let's get into the number one thing that I want to talk about, and the number one is going to be SPY. In my last video I talked about SPY, how, you know, last week I was expecting SPY to test this trend, of which we did pull back, and then we try again, we couldn't break through, and then we pull back. So, you know, just keep an eye on the market, because, you know, so many things are coming through my signal. So let's expect the market to bounce right off this level and then continue to test this trend, see if we can break the trend. RSI is 59%, which is relatively okay. Now let's take a look at Apple real quick. Apple as well, we have Apple really did visit this trend line. We break through the 20 EMA and then, you know, bounce right off real quick, with this being our doji, right? So I'm expecting price to just consolidate around this area, continue pushing higher. If we can break 147.5, we should be all right to test the 150 area. 150 is a core resistance spot on Apple. If you check the option chain, you're going to see a lot of, you know, open interest around the 150 area and the 140 spot. So, you know, that is pretty much where the market maker is going to, you know, work this Apple. But if we can break 147.50, I think we'll continue to push higher. Amazon really did pretty much good for me in terms of buying puts and also hedging my portfolio. So what happened was, you know, after the pull back down on Amazon, I decided to pick up some puts and make some few money out of that puts position, because, you know, the premium really got killed after the earnings report. So that's why I like to get in stocks that have already reported earnings, so that I wouldn't be buying the premium in it, right? Volume is really decent, so I'm expecting Amazon to really hold this level, bounce off this level, because guess what, our 200 moving average is just right, you know, below it. So keep an eye on Amazon. Next one is APRON, Blue Apron. This is a low float stock, so also keep an eye on this one as we begin to gain momentum. Volume is coming in. I'm expecting this to, you know, break out of this 450 area towards this $5 and then $6.37. Boeing, keep an eye on Boeing. I like the fact that you know, we did try to, you know, break out of this, or we did try to break out of this spot. We couldn't because of that volume. Look at the volume, huge volume came in, we couldn't, and then we tried second time, we just couldn't get past that 235, and then we market and all that got rejected, pulled back into this trend right now. So with Boeing, this is going to be your trend resistance to keep an eye on. Alibaba, this one pretty much there's nothing really to it, because if you still continue having issues with the Chinese government and all that, you know, this stock will be trading within range, and you know, you're just not gonna like it, because you wake up in the morning, it gaps up, you wake up the next morning, it gaps down. So that is what has been happening with Baba. So but overall, I think if we can get back into this area, you know, I'll be all right to picking up some for a long term. but overall, if we still pull back to this 180, is also good to continue staging my trade until we break out of the $200 spot. Overall, I like to get in 5 shares, 10 shares, just like that, until I build a solid core foundation, because Baba is not going anywhere. BB BlackBerry, this one also keep an eye on it, as we are consolidating around this area. RSI is 41 with MACD trying to call back up. Volume is what we're expecting right now, but in most cases you want to get in the trade before volume comes in, because as volume comes in, you'll be riding the wave and you'll be selling as we push higher, just like what we did here. We were selling as the stock is pushing higher. BLNK, keep an eye on this one. This is blink charging, and as different cities in the United States begin to open up charging spot for EV, electronic vehicles and all that, I think this will still do well as well. Overall, I like the fact that this is our support right now with 200 moving average. We did close right above the 200 moving average. This stock is $34 in $34 and some change in price. So I think picking up 10 shares, 5 shares here, and just hold it and see if we can test this $45 on the name. CLOV, keep an eye on CLOV, because for me this is my buying spot. Okay, within this $9, $7, this is my buying spot. I will continue to add to my portfolio. I will continue to add to my long-term account, because I'm expecting some form of a push on this name. Even if it's not this year, next year, I'm still expecting some form of a push. Right now, overhead, we have resistance around the 200 moving average, 50 moving average, and then 20 exponential moving average. So that is the $9 spot. So if we can break through all this area into $10, I think we'll be able to continue pushing towards the $14. CLSK, this is clean SPAC. Clean SPAC as well. We've been pushing lower and lower and lower. I have my position on this one. Guess what? Sometimes you also lose in your long-term account. This is my long-term hold, and my position is right around this area, $18, $17, and I've been adding ever since, and just to bring my average up and also hold for a long term. This for me is a long-term play, because I like the fact that this $13 area is holding, even if we pull lower, because my risk is up to $10, because as time goes on, the electronic vehicles, the renewable energy, and all those good stuff in terms of clean energy will be coming into our radar. Overall resistance is going to be around this $18 if we can break this $16. CMG, this one, keep an eye on CMG. This is Chipotle, the burrito company. What I'm expecting this to do is to somehow try to retest this top resistance. If we cannot break through this area, I think we're going to pull back down. But however, we are really too far from the 20 exponential moving average, so I'll be expecting a pullback this coming week or in the week to come, because every time we pull higher from the 20, we pull back. So right now we're really too far off, and I'm expecting a pullback. If you take a look at here too, we got too far, we pull back, right? And we got too far to the downside, we pull back, right? We did the same thing, and I'm expecting the same thing on that name. Dada, this one I like Dada as well for the long-term hold. This is Chinese kind of deal too, so if things get begin to be better with the Chinese government, will be all right. Look at the 200 moving average line. Is been really solid, knowing that we should be able to bounce at some point. We need volume to really still come into the name. DD, this is a new IPO. I got some few DD around here, sold into that momentum into the $11 spot. Right now, look at how price broke through this area, pulled back to retest that trend. Right now is holding the bottom support in this form of a huge body candle. So I'm expecting price to hold around this area into another retest of the $11, $11.25 spot. DKNG as well. Keep an eye on DKNG. I like the fact that you know, price is really giving me the car right here. Look at how we broke out with volume, not that much, then we pull back to retest this area. So if we can break $50, I think we'll be all right on DKNG. DOCU, keep an eye on this one, as if price cannot hold this bottom trend, this trend line right here, this is our support, then we'll pull back to this 20 exponential moving average, which is pretty much roughly 6 points to the downside. But if this area holds, I think we'll look for $300 on the spot. Facebook is also a good one. I talked about Facebook. I told, you know, on my Twitter account, I said look for a topping. Right now we did try, we made a flag, but we couldn't hold this flag, and then we pulled back down. So keep an eye on this area to hold so that we can retest this support, which is now our resistance. So we break 360, I think we'll be able to test the highs again with a favorable market condition. FUBO, this is FUBU. This is my long-term portfolio. I've been buying and holding this for a while, so I will continue to buy on any weakness on this stock, because I believe this will, you know, be Roku at one point in time. So if you take a look at Roku is, you know, pretty much 428 right now. This one also, I talk about, you know, buying puts on this name. So I bought the 440 puts, and now I am making money on this one. Look for price to hold around this area, pull towards the 420, you know, hold that area, and then we start pushing back up with a favorable market condition. Netflix as well, keep an eye on Netflix as we work through the 200 moving average. Another one you have to keep an eye on is Robinhood Market, Hood, HOOD. This one I'm looking for price to push lower below this 33.50. That is where I want to get in. I talked about it before the IPO that look for price to test the $35 area. On that IPO day, price really did touch $35 and even below. So I'm expecting price to go lower than this so that I can get some of them in my long-term portfolio. LI, keep an eye on this one as the numbers begin to come out in terms of sales, distribution, delivery. I'm expecting this to continue pushing higher towards the $35-40 spot on LI Auto Inc. Okay, Li Auto Inc. So keep an eye on that one. Relative to that LI, this is NIO. Keep an eye on NIO. I have the $40 and $45 call options on this one. I'm expecting this price to push towards this 47.50, and then we continue to push higher. I want $35 per share on this stock in the next 6 months. NVDA, keep an eye on NVDA. This is a reverse split. Not a reverse split. This is a forward split. They did a forward split on this one, and then right now we are actually holding this area. My love for this is for the price to pull towards the 170, 175 area so that I can pick some up for a long term. However, I still have some, you know, exposure in this name just in case we decide to pull through this 200, then test the 210 area. PDD. PDD, keep an eye on PDD. This is also Chinese play. Right now we're really extended. You know, I'm looking for price in the long run for price to visit the $200 spot. Right now look at it, 36% on RSI. We are oversold. Palantir, this is a long-term play. This is what you buy and just hold for the next 5-10 years. For me, I'm holding this one. Right now we're within this range. For me, I'm expecting price to really break the 200 moving average, and I'll be all right. Look at how right now we are seeing the 200 moving average. So, you know, I'm expecting price to push over, you know, through this $24 spot. I think then we continue pushing higher. Plug Power, keep an eye on this one. Right now we are still within this range as well. If you cannot see the range, we have this range right now on Plug Power. So this is where you're going to be watching for price to really break out on the name. Next one is going to PUBM. PUBM, this is for a long-term kind of play. I have a couple of shares on this one. I bought around this area, we pushed higher, I sold some, and right now I'm adding those ones that I sold back into the name. And if we pull lower, that is fine. I will still be adding because this is a very high short float stock, so keep an eye on that one. I talked about Roku, and that is also a good one. SMG, keep an eye on SMG as well. I'm expecting this area to be our consolidation spot. The longer the consolidation, the bigger the move, the larger the base, the larger the move. So I'm looking for price to really revisit this top range, this 182 area. If we can hold this area and break through the 20 EMA, I think we'll be able to test the 190 easily on SMG. Tesla as well. Tesla really did great last week, and Thursday, Friday was really a very nice move. When I look into the option chain, I saw, you know, puts, 650 puts and a $700 call. So, you know, my anticipation is for the price to break through 700, but because we had that, you know, stack of open interest around the $700 spot, the market maker look at it and said, hey, we're not closing right above $700, because that will also cause another squeeze as well on Tesla. But overall, keep an eye on Tesla. As we break $700, I think we'll be able to push towards the $750, $800 on Tesla. I said that. I wish Contest Logic, keep an eye on this. I like their platform. I think, you know, overall in the long term they're gonna do great. Overall target for me on this one is $30 per share and more. I'll be looking for, you know, taking profit in this name within the next year or two as we continue to push higher on this. I'm buying on any pullback on this name. Okay, so keep an eye on Wish as we come into this week. Wayne Resort, keep an eye on this one because we are really extended to the downside. 2670 on RSI. So right now I'm expecting a bounce on this name. Look at how MACD got really extended, then we pull back. Right now we are extended to the the lows, and I'm expecting price to rebound from this area into at least the 20 moving average. Finally, last but not the least is Zoom, ZM. Keep an eye on Zoom as we are supporting the 200 moving average right now. Okay, so the 200 moving average right now is 377. So keep an eye on it. We close right above it. Okay, I don't like this red candle because we have more selling pressure coming down, but overall you have your support around this $370 spot, which is our 20 EMA. So I'm expecting price to hold this area for a push to the upside. Look for call options around the 370, 380, 390 call options, and on the put side, if we continue to push lower with the 365 put options. But overall, this is your trade. This is the weekend popular demand. I appreciate you all sending this ticker, the names to my way, and I'm expecting these stocks to do good this coming week, and I expect you all to, you know, trade wisely, trade with risk management, because that is the most important thing. Okay, I know so many people love AMC. You can trade AMC, but as well keep money aside to also put into other good company, other good stocks that you will love in the future. With that being said, if you enjoy this content, I will highly recommend that you subscribe and click on the like button. Okay, if you have any questions or concern, you know, just go down the link below and type in your questions, your comment, or whatsoever. You can also email me at tradingsuccessshow@gmail.com. Peace and love, guys. Bye bye.